right, time now for the Butch and Bob Show, and it is brought to you today by Murphy's Builder Supply, O.C. Welch, First Southern Bank, and GNS Auto Sales. All right, Bob's got some guests in the studio, so we're going to turn it right over to Bob, and he can talk to the guest. Bob, you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you, Art. Appreciate it very much. Again, it's time now for the world famous Butch and Bob Show. Again, we just went through the storm, the hurricane, and we got people in the studios here to help. We've got Nicholas Goodman from Texas here.
Nice to meet you, Bob.
Nice to meet you. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Nicholas Goodman. I'm with Goodman & Partners Contracting and Consulting. We're here to do some cleanup and get people back to pre-storm condition.
And Caitlin Milliken, is that right?
Yes.
Did I get
Hi,
that right?
Good morning.
And
I'm
where are you
Caitlin
from?
Milliken.
And where are you from, Caitlin?
I'm from Texas.
You're from
I
Texas
live in
as well?
Texas,
Okay.
yeah, and I work for Premier Claims, a public adjusting firm.
So what made y'all fly into Wayne County, Georgia to help out? How did you know that Wayne County needed help?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are licensed in Georgia. And so some of our reps are here stationed right outside of Atlanta. So some of us came in as backup support to help.
Okay, so if people are out there, what kind of help do you provide? What kind of services are you here to provide to us?
Yeah.
And how do they get in touch with you if there are people out there listening that need help?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can give out my phone number in just a moment. But we public adjusters are policy experts, so we offer free policy reviews and assistance with their claims post storms.
So you just go out and assess it, and tell us how it works. They have to file paperwork, or tell us,
Yeah. After a storm, they feel like they're being treated unfairly or underpaid. We can come in and basically represent them in their claim moving forward. So if we need to readjust the claim, bring it to a higher value or dollar amount, that's essentially what we do.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
And I know when people have a storm, I know insurance adjusters tell you to make sure you take a lot of pictures.
Yes,
have as much video evidence that you possibly can have. So explain that process.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure that you have a copy of your policy, whether it's in your email or a printed paper form, and then we can do the full policy review. Definitely take pictures. Pictures are free. And make sure you keep those on your phone or upload it in an email somewhere. That's definitely really important post-storm.
Okay, and you said you're there if they feel they don't get the service they need. So explain that. So,
correct.
So how does it work?
Do
they deal with FEMA first, GEMA first? Who do we deal with first?
Yeah, so maybe they feel like their insurance agent isn't responding fast enough, or they said they would have an adjuster out, but the adjuster hasn't come out quite yet. So we can assist in that process. We represent them in the insurance claim process. Their property becomes our fiduciary responsibility. So we end up working with their carrier to negotiate back and forth a fair claim dollar amount.
So y'all become the adjuster, is what you're saying?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
So Nicholas, tell us your role in all this.
Well, that's pretty simple on my end. I'm the contractor, and I'll work with Premier Claims as somewhat of a partner, but also representing the client and the insured's best interest. So a lot of times what we'll see is the carriers will come out and they'll, might put a dollar amount on a piece of property, and quite frankly, it's usually never what they're responsible for. It leaves the insured in a poor position. And I'm not saying this about all carriers across the board, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to get underpaid in your claim. Where I come in is to write a scope that Premier can use to show, hey, look, this is what the property looked like before, this is what the property looks like now, and this is what it's going to take to put the property back together, right? So the reality is we are on the insured's best interest, right, to make sure that they're brought back to pre-storm condition, and ultimately that's our goal. Right, we just want to make sure that these people, the hardship and the catastrophes that they're going through, that they're taken care of and their best interests are in mind.
Well, Wayne County, this is probably the hardest hit storm that they've had in years. And,
sure.
And
absolutely.
And the further you go up, like through Baxley, Vidalia, Douglas, Valdosta, those places, Hazelhurst, really got, what kind of damage have you all seen across the area?
So it's pretty
Widespread.
bad, very widespread. They call it it looks like a hurricane from a map, but the damage that we're seeing kind of resembles more or less of tornadoes. It's unfortunate for everybody, and we are empathetic to everybody's situation, and that's the big thing, to let people know that we're here to help. We've seen businesses people brought to their knees. We've seen people without showers for days. We've seen people without power for working on a week now.
Sleeping in their cars for some cooler air.
Right.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there hurting.
They're hurting bad.
So,
absolutely.
So again, if they need to get a hold of you, how do they do that? You said do you have an office set up here in Wayne County?
So
or?
we're working out of a satellite office between, I believe it's Baxby and I don't know where, Hinesville.
Glenville also.
In Glenville, yeah. If somebody needs to reach out to me as far as contracting or just maybe to, my phone number is 214-994-0780. Again, my telephone number, Goodman & Partners Contracting and Consulting, is 214-994-0780. And again, you can reach out to Caitlin and she can answer any questions too.
Yeah, my phone number is 504-319-0371.
Okay, so again, as we mentioned, there's a lot of people out there. So how soon do you think people can get relief? I mean, that's what a lot of people are asking me is they're looking at their damage, they're assessing it, like I said, they're dealing with no power, they're dealing with all kinds of...
Something that we can offer, and I'm very fortunate to the situation that we have, the network that we have for people like this. We've got some companies that are backing us that we can get people, construction started within a day or two, get them back, and then we can work with the insurance later on. Not a lot of other companies aren't in those kinds of situations. And we're grateful to be in a situation where we can go ahead and start building. Now there's some things that have to get worked through in the meantime of that, but we're in a position that we can go right to work on these properties and get people, back to staying inside, back with power, back to feeding the kids the way we're supposed to.
Right, and as far as on the insurance side of things, it's really important to mitigate. It's, as a policyholder, it's your duty and responsibility so that further damage doesn't occur. But you definitely, again, want to have your policy reviewed either by a public adjuster or a claims attorney to make sure that you have the proper coverage for that so there's no surprise expenses down the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, we appreciate you coming in. Like I said, as I mentioned, there's just a lot of people out there looking for any assistance they can possibly get, and then the quicker the better.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you having us.
Yeah,
No
thank
problem.
you so much.
So once again, before I let you go, again, give your name, information, and explain again what kind of services you provide and how they can get in touch with you if they need this service.
Sure. Again, my name is Nicholas Goodman. I'm with Goodman & Partners Contracting and Consulting. We're here to bring people's homes, businesses back to pre-storm condition in this untimely, what we're dealing with today. My phone number is 214-994-0780. Again, my phone number is 214-994-0780. Caitlin?
Yep, and I'm Caitlin with Premier Claims, a public adjusting firm. My number is 504-319-0371, and we represent policyholders in the insurance claim process.
Well, again, we appreciate you reaching out and coming on the show. Again, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of help to a lot of people, and we appreciate you being here on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank
you so much.
Okay, thanks so much. Okay, that's going to do it for the world famous Butch and Bob show here on a Friday. Have a great weekend.